Snaps. We're going to do a quick exercise bike Q&A, so send your questions. We'll get at them. Alright, what up? Good morning, Snaps. Fitness is the first step to greatness. Still a little sick, so I'm going to take it easier today, but got to do some cardio. Alright, first question by Bryce. Is it worth capturing a small segment of a large market if there's existing players in that market? I'd say absolutely. Most big companies actually get started by capturing a niche in a large market. Right? Think Facebook going after college students initially, or Twitch just going after gaming streams and then being able to expand out from there. Alright, another question. How do you find problems worth solving outside of looking at your own problems? If it's not your own problem, the only way to determine what problem there is to solve is to go to friends, other people, and ask them. How many hats is too many hats for one co-founder to wear? And when do you start bringing other people on? So I definitely subscribe to the idea that you can have one key metric per person in the company, but in the early days, that's not always possible. I would hire people when you have clearly defined what the goals for their job are and you're already drowning in doing that work yourself. It's pretty hard to hire people for a job that you don't know how to do, and I often see that in early stage founders. They don't know how to do something, so they're trying to hire an expert. This question is a little complicated. Kelly asked me, assume you've built an internal tool that other people have started asking you to sell externally, but it's a distraction from your core business. What do you do? So I would opt for not doing that because it is a distraction. A small company can really only have one thing it's working on, unless one, you really need the money and you're gonna die without it, or you think this is bigger than the business you're pursuing and you want to just pivot entirely, which you can do that too. What kind of market solution is YC looking for the most in the future? First of all, don't build a startup based on what some VC wants. Build a startup based on what you want to work on. But YC funds, and this is true of pretty much all investors, what types of companies it sees, right? So it's basically a function of what the market of startups looks like and what kinds of companies people are starting. Andrew asked me if I've ever actually had to practice caution in my life. It's a good question. On the bigger picture things, I can't say that I ever have. Of course, for the companies, we haven't always grown as aggressively as we might have risked because we didn't want to outlay that much cash, which is a form of caution. And one time, I was shooting off guns in the woods with some friends of mine, and we almost started a forest fire by shooting propane tanks. So I stopped doing that. But no, other than that, not really. Alright, next question. How can I stop someone from stealing my awesome business idea? If it's easy for someone to steal your idea, then it means the idea is probably out there and it's all going to be based on execution anyways. When we first started off with Kiko, we were super scared to tell other people what we were working on because we thought it was such a genius idea to make an awesome calendar. And so we didn't want to tell anyone about it, but what we realized after a while was most people aren't just going to quit their jobs and their lives just to start a company based on an idea they have. Would you apply to YC even if you're not aiming to build $1 billion company? So, primarily YC tries to fund companies that can be big and have a huge impact, but oftentimes founders' goals can change. When we started off, we weren't necessarily trying to build $1 billion company. We're just trying to build a successful company. But it turns out it was in a big market, and the more we grew, the bigger our ambitions grew. Was making money from your startups important in the early days? Well, I would say being able to pay ourselves was very important. But when we set off, we didn't have very ambitious goals. We were like, we just wanted to make $1 million a piece from the startup. Mostly it was about doing something cool with friends of mine and being able to control my own destiny. Learn to code or hire someone to code? The age-old question. Obviously, it's going to take some time to actually become a proficient coder, which is more time than you might have to start your startup. but I think it's always good to have some basic knowledge. It's very hard to manage something you don't know even just a little bit about. Another good question, how do you see nonprofits benefiting from the startup culture? I think, at YC, we fund nonprofits, and the goal is to get people to start nonprofits like they start startups. We want them to build stuff that's sustainable, build stuff that's scalable, and very quickly determine whether they actually have product market fit or not, and iterate, get out there and talk to their customers. I think any company, nonprofit or for-profit, benefits. Last question, people want to know what this song was from yesterday. It's called Uber Everywhere. So Bo just asked me to expand on my previous thoughts on why multi-level marketing is a scam. So there's a couple of reasons. Number one, you have to buy to sell the product. You have to buy the product yourself to sell the product. This is just an excuse to get you to buy the product. Now, most people can sell one or two to friends and family, but not enough to recoup their initial investment. The third thing is it's mathematically impossible for everybody to achieve the success that they promise you. This is because making money is contingent on having people sell under you. And eventually those people run out of people to have under them. So they tend, this is a reason why you should get in early, which is a bunch of bullshit. What I really hate about multi-level marketing is that they're selling it as a way to become an entrepreneur when it's not at all, and it's just a scam. So fuck you and your multi-level marketing.
Now wait, it's lit. I've been moving at a race. Straight up, tell me what we going through the pace. Shit, I can't escape.
Now we're heading to YC. Woo! Hoverboard. I'm extremely pleased with myself. You want to try it out?
Yeah, I totally do.
It's pretty fun. I've been basically not leaving this hoverboard for the past.
So you just lost your hoverboard.
Sam, you got it. Easy.
Wow, that was quick.
You're a natural, Sam.
See, you were never meant to walk. You're doing it, Finbae.
I want to take this turn on the spot. Yeah. All right, let's start.
Alright, let's see what's in the fridge. Founder's been taking our drinks, so we had to put this up here. Look, wow. I'm finally as tall as you are.
Yes, you are. You're an absolute giant on that thing.
I missed it, Snapchat, but I just went across the street on the hoverboard.
Good maneuvering.
It was dangerous. No one said life was supposed to be easy. No one said life was... Alright, now we're on the way to Blue Bottle, over here in Mint Plaza. Let's do it. Let's do it. Up, Snaps, I found someone with a good taste in shoes. Bam, I like it. Look at these right here. Now you need a hoverboard. What up, Snaps? So I'm here having coffee with my friend Finbae. Hey. And he started a company with my brother and a friend of theirs. They started a company called Shogun about, a year and a couple months ago.
Yep.
And I want to tell their story as a cautionary tale, what not to do. All right, Finbae, so you guys had a product, and you worked on it for about 9 months.
Yep.
And it was, what was your product?
I guess.
No.
So it's a drag and drop page builder that plugs into your existing website. Spent a long time trying to sell it. I couldn't sell it.
So last year, around September, August, you guys were at a couple $100 a month in revenue.
Yep.
And so you gave up and just let it run, and now what? It's at, how much?
Like $4,000 a month.
$4,000 a month in revenue. So you have a company, but you gave up. You gave up. Moral of the story is that it takes a long time to start a startup, not just 1 month or 6 months. You got to get with it. That was too much spinning on the Swagway. I'm in Mint Plaza. I found some of my founders from the last batch. Armada, day drinking. Should be working on your startups.
That's not day drinking.
All right, so Finbae used to work with me at Exec, and then he started his own company, and then he now joined us at YC. So I'm asking him what he learned from being at YC. Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, I've learned that everything is really just a shit show behind the scenes. And it's been really interesting to see how people pick startups.
So than what he just said to me, which is that all these startup founders are fucking liars, and that their startups are always going worse than what they say externally. So you should take heart. Okay, we're crossing the street. Can we do this? Oh, there's no traffic right now. I'm good. This barrier, these bumps. You can do it. You can do it. You did it. Snapchat, we made. It's like a library. What's up, Dalton?
What's going on? Actually, we're broadcasting.
We're broadcasting. We're gonna have to jump over this gap. Let's do it. Ooh, nailed it. Nailed it. Getting turned in the office.
I nailed it. Yeah. Turning up in the office.
What up, Snaps? So this afternoon, someone hit me up on Snapchat and by email, and they were asking for me to meet up and give them some time. And they were like, I hope you respect the hustle. Bro, it's not hustle to just hit me up on a bunch of different channels. You gotta demonstrate some sort of reason why people want to meet up with you. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The best way to get a response from a busy person is to demonstrate something you can give them, teach them, or any other sort of value you can provide them. All right, got some Asian entrepreneurs right here. Wow.